Welcome everybody to another episode of Chris and Dave's Reality Cast. I am one of your hosts, Chris Phelps, and my co-host and very good friend is Mr. Dave Horrocks.
Hey there, Chris, and hello to our listeners out there. Welcome to Chris and Dave's TV Reality Cast. We are covering Love Island UK Season 7, Episode 16. But before we get into that, Chris, I just want to address this little matter, which I like to call Couplesgate. So I know it is a rare thing when the reality radar is off, or on rather. But apparently you rattled off a few Love Island couples which were together. And shockingly, you weren't correct, Chris.
No. The two I mentioned are a couple. But when I said I think they're the only two I can remember, I literally had everyone, and thank you everyone for calling me out, because I deserve to be called out with that piece of shit misinformation and just randomly talking nonsense. Now, don't say that's normal, Dave, because it is, we know, but I have to call myself out. So
got there before me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So on Facebook, some of the ladies were saying, no, Chris, you've got about these, and they were right. And then we got it on Twitter, Discord. I got everything off everybody. So I can only apologize. And I'm going to read out, because Vivian, our friend on Twitter, actually did a full, concise list and got pictures and everything, Dave. So I thought, well, I owe it to everybody. Nice. To correct my mistake. So there may be others, but we're running out. When I said there was only two, if Vivian's list is correct and there's not some others that have slipped through the net, there's actually 10, Dave. So there's big difference between Chris's 2 and 10. So I was actually 20% correct, Dave, which is about right for me. But
well, to be fair, if you've said, and I'm not going to go back and listen, Chris, but if you've said, these are the two that you remember, I guess that is factually correct. The fact that you've got 20% of them. You're the Love Island superfan. I'm the critic, remember? That's where we started this thing.
I think my radar must have been on the blink like when I was talking about this. But anyway, let me do the roll call of honour, Dave. So I did say Alex and Olivia. They're from 2016 and they're from season 2. So is Nathan and Cara. They've actually got babies as well. They've got 2 kids. They did split up while she was pregnant, Cara, with the first one. I know that. And then they got back together and they've had another one now. So they're doing really well. They actually won it as well, Dave. We've got Jamie and Camilla. Now, she's from season 3. Camilla was dead. A bit like Hugo, Dave. She just couldn't get a break. And then Jamie came in at the end and they've been together ever since. And they've got a baby. We've got Dom. Now, Dom and Jess were ones, Dave. They come in series 3. And oh my God, was like, they just didn't, they were just, after they came out, they were going to the opening of a fucking letter, Dave. They were on everything, this couple. Both, he's from Manchester. She came in, looked like she didn't get on with him. Anyway, they're still together and they've had a baby, so they're still going strong. How can I forget, Dave, Tommy Fury and Molly May? It's graceful. And then we've actually got 3 couples from the last UK Love Island. So we've got Luke and Shanice. Again, I'm on TikTok, not a lot, but they are on there, them two doing the dancing. It's pretty much like Ross and Monica, Dave, the way they did the routine.
The routine,
yeah. We've got Callum and Molly as well, who've both from Manchester. Should have known that. And then we've got Paige and Finn who won it, Dave. What the fucking hell am I talking about? Being a super fan?
I didn't realise Callum and Molly were together. That's interesting.
Yeah. So, Dave, I can only apologise to everybody. It was a mistake, everyone. And what I'm going to say is I'm going to blame it on you, Dave. I don't know why. You've done nothing, but it's just nice just to pass the buck on to you. So
I'd quite happily take it fully on the chin with all these couples. Don't really care. I care about them when they're on the screen. But honestly, I've just zoned out for a little bit there, had a little bit of a micro sleep. You mentioned Olivier there. At some point,
yeah,
I will go back and I'll watch the Love Island 1 to 4 UK that I've missed out on. I need to fill in those gaps. But Olivier, is that Olivier Atwood? I say Olivier like it's Florence Olivier. It's not. Okay.
No, it's not. It's Olivia Buckland. She was season 2. Olivia Atwood was season 3. Olivia Atwood. That's the one that I watched. The show about her and her boyfriend who plays for Blackburn. But funny enough, Dave, Charlene's actually watching season 2 now, and over on Facebook, she's given us a running commentary, and I'm not ruining it for any, but for her. And a couple of people have commented, and we were talking. She's like really into season 2. So, and to be fair, Charlene sort of knows now one of the couples are together, Nathan and Cara, because when I got called out, they were in the list of people who are still together. So sorry, Charlene, that's my
spoiler. The reason I ask, I'm sure it was Olivia Atwood. Chris, I have just discovered Celebrity Gogglebox, right? I know I'm late to the party and stuff, but oh my God, it is hilarious. Some of the people that are on there, and she was on this show where there's basically like about 5 non-celebrities packed in a room doing shit karaoke and drinking.
I did actually watch the show, Dave. I did watch the show, and it's on Series Link. But anyway, I did watch last series as well.
The worst thing. You've got Nick Grimshaw there, and I think he nailed it. He said the people this show is good for are the people right there. The ones getting pissed and doing crap karaoke. That is the worst show I think I've ever seen. And of course you've watched it.
Dave, no, I'm with you. It's fucking dreadful. Tanya Bardsley's on it. You know Phil Bardsley, who played for United and stuff. Yeah. Well, she's in The Housewives of Cheshire, and she's on it. And she's one of the ones on that VT you saw. She's on the episode. Oh, it's fucking Brian Dowling from Big Brother, Dave, series 2, the winner.
Recognised him.
Yeah. So it's fucking woeful. He's one, and all. I mean, to be fair, the one thing they do on that is they get them all fucking wasted on champagne and stuff, and getting pissed, and then they're just ridiculous. Because Olivia, Dave, you've got to watch her. She's just a walking whirlwind. That girl, unbelievable. She's spoiled brat who's got her own way and been to everything as a kid, all these, stage stuff and that. I'm absolutely spoiled like mad. But when she gets going, she is a rule unto herself.
Yeah. What I did appreciate is they had Bewitched on.
Yes.
It's always good to sing along to that. But anyway, Chris, we should get into tonight's episode. So we talked yesterday. We said this episode will be a lot about AJ getting to know the blokes. So what do you reckon about how she did there?
Well, we obviously had the peacocking from the girls, didn't we? Which I understand the guys would be the same if a guy come in. They're all on the balcony looking down. The guys are there. Jake seemed to enjoy himself, Dave. He wasn't very happy when the girls did join them. But I think AJ was quite nice. She settled in well. She seemed really receptive to everyone. I've never known a man get a job, as in Hugo, or someone who gets a job, man or woman, and then talks themselves out of it, Dave, in the space of a recorded hour, because this guy has got the worst fucking chat we have ever seen. He is fucking rubbish. He talks himself out of everything, and not in a good way. Not like he's going to get, beat up and he say, oh, I was always good and never got into fights because I took my way out of it. Dave, he's got a couple of girls there who probably would have been interested in him. And his fucking chat is a disgrace. I'm sorry.
Do you reckon it's worse than Brad's?
Yeah, but yeah, well, all right, fair enough. But
it's a low bar, isn't it? Or high bar, depending on how you're looking at it. But I agree. I mean, chat is horrendous. And I still think, Chris, next week, the clubs and everything should be opening. So, chaps like Liam and Brad, they just won't have to talk anymore. That is what blaring, banging music is for. So they'll just pull without having to chat at all. And especially having, as soon as they come out of this fucking place, they'll be inundated, won't they? But I agree. I mean, part of the entertainment for me is, the fact that, all of these people are 9s and 10s, aren't they? But the fact that there's not a lot else to them, or a lot of them, they're just not very fucking interesting people, are they? So,
no.
It's nice to know that, they're not perfect or far from it. So, yeah, I agree. Chat is pretty horrendous. And I guess, historically he pulls before, the chat gets too deep and then he moves on to someone else.
Yeah, he does. And I think AJ, Dave, she really had a great chat with Aaron straight away, which he had to get involved. And I've got to agree. I think it might have been Hannah on our Discord was saying that he's a good-looking lad, he is a good guy. He's dead smooth. I don't know why he's not coupled up at all, Aaron. He's a really good guy. He had a good chat with her. Obviously, Hugo's was a disgrace. And then the best one again, though, Dave, was Teddy's.
Why was this a disgrace?
Hugo's. It just fell off a cliff for me by the end of this episode, Dave. I was just like, you deserve everything now. I like him as a person, but fuck me, if you're going to go on there and just friend zone everyone and talk utter shit, you get what you deserve, Dave. So he can go now. He can fuck off. I don't want him in the show anymore. I'm done with him.
Though, I know I said it on the Discord before, but I'm going to repeat myself here. For a guy with no options, he's got supreme fucking confidence, Chris.
Oh, yeah. The way he binned Shaz off was great. It was as if he had about 6 women fucking phoning round him. And he's like, yeah, as soon as you say to someone, you're like my little sister, my little brother, it's all over. Get your bags and fucking go home, mate. Because Shaz has just been absolutely... It was wrong, really, what he said, because I actually felt at that point he was being an arrogant prick, to be honest, Dave. It was like, no, mate.
Yeah, it did a bit, didn't it? Because, and that's the reason I bring that up, because you're saying about how likable he is. And I know he does have a lot of love out there. Everyone says how nice he is and everything. But I thought that was a bit off. I mean, he's properly slammed this door shut in her face then. Now, if he feels that way, should he say that? I'm not sure. But it did feel like in that moment, he was Brad fucking Pitt, at his peak. And he just, he was arrogant as fuck and had so many options. And I'm kind of with you. I'm like, you know what? You've had your chance now. You actually do need to fuck off, because you're not going to... It doesn't matter who they send in. Unless someone comes in with a game plan, Chris, and thinks, I need to go to Hugo, I need to couple up with him, get some of that reflected glory, because he's in the zeitgeist now, isn't he? People know who Hugo is. Yeah. A lot of the Casa Amor girls, the ones who don't make it back into the villa, you kind of forget who they are. So someone could go in with an absolute game plan, but I've seen enough now that I will be suspicious of anyone who latches onto Hugo from here, because the guy's got zero game.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree, Dave. And at the end of the day, I'll simply do the old Chris special. Don't let the door hit you on the back of the fucking head on your way out, Hugo, because I'm off the Hugo train for the moment, Dave. But you did mention Brad, Dave, and all I'm going to say to you is, as the great song used to say about Alice, Brad, who the fuck is Brad? Because Lucinda in 24 hours has become the female version of Brad, Dave. She doesn't give a fuck. Really? Oh, that was getting on my fucking nerves. Really? And you really? And you know what? I'm coming in hot on this, because this is my take on this, right? She is a clever girl. She's not this dumb blonde that she's trying to portray herself. She's portraying a character to stay in. Everyone can see it. I can see it, in my opinion. She reminds me of a woman I used to work with who was, Dave, a trained fucking accountant. Now, I mentioned to Sam tonight that I was going to bring this up in the podcast, and Sam went, I work with some accountants, I've worked with some accountants, and you wouldn't think that they've got these degrees in, calculation, mathematics, whatever. But there was a woman I worked with, and she was a head of the accounts, clever woman, but she would do this fake, dizzy blonde act with the boss. And she would go in every couple of months when she was having a bad day and say, I'm leaving, I'm going. And he'd be like, oh, don't, and he's, she's really thinking sensitive. But she'd play the dumb blonde, asking stupid questions. You're like, no, I don't believe it. And she kept going in and always got a pay rise, Dave, always got a pay rise, until eventually they went, you know what? It doesn't work anymore, that act. We can't give you any more money. And she left. And it was like, but she'd done this act
to
a
higher paying job.
To a higher paying job, yeah. And did it there as well and got even more probably. But he reminds me of Lucinda. It's that she's like almost, the guys are not, like Aaron's not realising that she's sort of insulting his intelligence, in my opinion, because he thinks that he's sort of teaching her stuff and he's really laying on all the compliments. She knows what he's doing, Dave. She knows what he's doing. She is young, I know that, and I could be completely wrong. But I just found her whole act and the way she's doing it, this is exactly what everyone said online. She is going for that boo-hoo fucking clothing deal, whatever, at the end of this. And I know they get it anyway, but I don't think she's a bad person. but she's certainly aware of what she's doing. And I just don't think she's as daft as she puts on. I think she's actually quite a clever girl, which I take my hat off to, Dave, because if she steamrolls all the way to the final and wins it, and if she took the 50 grand and fucked off Aaron or someone else, she would be my ultimate contestant on Love Island, Dave. I'll take it all back.
That would be awesome, wouldn't it? I am going to leave the door open to the fact that she is really smart. I haven't seen too much, but, you know, I was thinking she does resemble possibly a little bit of Lorelei. You know, a lot of our listeners probably won't have seen Superman 3, but Pamela Stevenson plays this character, and she definitely plays that kind of ditzy blonde. And then in these specific moments, you know, she'll say something and you know, just like furry kittens or something, you know, and she just brushes it off. But actually, she is the smartest person in the room. Yeah. Not entirely bought into your theory that Lucinda is, but she is definitely kind of playing that game. She's playing it up in that flirty way. She's like, Aaron, can you mansplain something to me? And Aaron's like, yeah, I can do that.
Exactly.
Nice.
Exactly.
I am the fucking man here. And she's like, you look like a model. Well, of course you are a model.
Yeah, I know. That's exactly what I'm getting at. Exactly what I'm getting at.
So yeah, she definitely, you know, knows which buttons to push. And as blokes, we're just fucking stupid. We just fall for it all the time, don't we? But, you know, I just don't know. But honestly, Chris, I was crying laughing. I mean, we've seen this before, haven't we? When people, you know, have this supposedly unbreakable bond of love, and then, you know, a week after they're coupled up with something else. But Chris, it's 24 hours. And I was just crying thinking of Brad crying, which is horrible. He's like, I gave up my fucking place in the villa to test our love. And like the day after, you're like, in the morning, you're crying, you're there with no makeup and red puffy eyes. And in the evening, she's saying to the VT, and she's like, well, I am single. It's like, well, come on, you know, give it a day or two, you know. And but the best one, Chris, that I remember is from Love Island Australia, right? Season 2. Do you remember Matt, the one who was crying at the drop of a hat? And the girl he was coupled up with, Vanessa, got voted out. And he was bawling his eyes out. He was like, oh, I love you. She's like, well, just come out with me. Oh, no. And he ends up coupling up with someone else. And it's like, they're all so full of shit with their holiday romances.
It is fucking bollocks. It is. And like I say, I'm not coming in it as in I don't like Lucinda. The way that went with her and Brad, I thought it was Brad would have been the one. And you were right what you said yesterday. She deserves to be in there longer. Brad's been in there a few weeks, but it also makes sense that maybe Brad, he was no angel. He sort of got what he deserved. And he knew that she wasn't into him. And it's about playing the game, Dave. If they're worded up before they go in, he knows what's going on and she's going to crack on with someone else. That's the whole point of keeping her in the villa. It's basically now she's got, nobody really knows her second name. We don't know most of the contestants' second name. But Lucinda is a marketing dream, Dave. That's a great name for marketing. So the brand Lucinda is being created before our eyes if she does it all correct. But there you go. But yeah, it's just funny.
I tell you what, Chris, you know, because we've been watching so much reality stuff over the last few weeks, I haven't watched the extra bits, like, you know, the unseen bits on a Saturday and the After Sun on a Monday. I tell you what, I'm going to be fucking tuned into After Sun this Monday because Brad is going to be on there. They're going to be looking at some of his moments. They're going to be looking at, well, you know, something's going to happen on Friday as well, I'm sure, with Lucinda. Who knows? At this pace, might have a cheeky snog. So Brad will be on there. I'm pretty sure Rachel will be on there as well. That could be, you know, some uncomfortable moments shown back. So, yeah, I am all in for the After Sun, Chris.
Oh, I can't wait. And it's about Lucinda. And I said dinner in the last episode, Faye had a blinder. She almost was going back to typing this one, Dave. So AJ pulls Teddy there was a bit of a cheeky, flirty. Sort of, I want to go to I want a bit of Asia or something, Asian, and she went, well, I'm half Asian in me.
Teddy said, I want to touch Asia.
That was it. Yeah,
I thought that is a fucking weird thing to say, unless you are throwing out that word, touch Asia. Is that a fucking thing that people say?
I don't know, but she picked up on it, Dave, didn't she? And went, well, you can touch half of me because I'm half Asian. I'm like, yeah, because I thought she looked pretty good with Aaron. And then Teddy was there. But what made me piss, what absolutely made me piss is Faye. She'd done the nail filing thing, which was really funny. It's going to be a meme that for years to come, definitely. And it'll be on Twitter forever and a day with Love Island and other things. It was very clever what she did. We praised her. And she walked over before she went into the kitchen and she's looking like a fucking meerkat. And then walks past Toby and then Toby goes, have you seen that? And she went, seen what? What? I've not seen anything. And he's going, you can hear him laughing.
You can hear him laughing.
He's playing
Toby,
it cool.
You don't know it, but you're calling her out here for overacting her nonchalance.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. He's pretending you're not annoyed or that you're not jealous. And then this just blatantly fucking acting the fool because it was dead fake. And they were together. She's like, well, got crack on then, honey. Yeah, let him crack on. Do his thing. And I'm just like, Faye, you're losing it now. I was on your team yesterday.
She was saying ting, though, wasn't she?
Yeah.
Like she was dropping the H.
Yeah.
Can you still do that? It seems a bit off to me.
Yeah, I don't know. But her way of coping with things is just, that wasn't the way. It's not wrong with, nothing was going on, but it was a classic observation. And I kept thinking, what would I do if I was in that situation? Because I don't know. We don't know how it's easy for us to sit here going, well, you don't know, do you, until you're in that position, Dave? So it's just funny to see.
Yeah, I don't think tonight was Faye's best night, to be honest. I was like you. She'd really kind of started to win me round, and then I thought she showed some of those not as pleasant traits. And when she's going on to the other girls, I mean, she seems to have got in with the other blondes now, doesn't she? And she's talking to them, and she's saying about, oh yeah, I'm not worried about AJ. I'm better than her, kind of thing. I was like, yeah, I don't really like that. Even if you think it. I don't like you speaking in those terms, to the other girls and stuff. I find it quite disrespectful. And it made me think, is Faye got that classic British trait of that sense of superiority along with that sense of inferiority? You never see it more than with the England team, do you? If we play someone which is not a traditionally great team, we're like, we should fucking steamroller all of these teams 10-0, and anything less will not be good enough. And then we play, an Italy or a Spain or Brazil or an Argentina. It's like, oh yeah, I've got no chance. It's weird how I don't recognize it in any other kind of national traits that other than England, where we have that combination of feeling superior and inferior at the same time.
Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? And I think we talk about this, but as a human experiment, just watch it. Forget like the controversy and all the fake drama. I always say to you, like, are we just like that? Are everybody the same? The way everyone's back gets up, the jealousy, the way you react. The series may change and they may tone stuff down, hence why there's no alcohol. But human behavior doesn't, does it? It's like having a dog. Most dogs do the same thing, don't they, Dave? You've got a dog, I've got a dog. You can guarantee they will do pretty much. They might have their own little things they're little ticks or little things that annoy them or whatever, but they act pretty much the same. It's all about how you think. I think with human beings, it's the same. We all act in a certain way. And some people are more aware of it and some are not. And I just, when I'm watching programs like this, I love taking the piss out of it, but I also love the fact that how people do stuff bad or they do something that is classed as wrong, and then they either try and cover the tracks or they'll deny it or they'll go on the offensive. I don't know. When you're watching these daft reality shows, I love that. I can't explain it, but it really is a great experiment when you're watching them.
It absolutely is. And Chris, I think the next recoupling, it's got to be the girl's choice, hasn't it?
Well, and what's Hugo done? Fucked himself over, Dave. So he's probably going to be going anyway. So I agree.
Yeah, but wouldn't it be great? Because I did see, some sparks between AJ and Teddy there. So
Yes.
I'm thinking, what happens if AJ gets first pick? They gave Teddy last pick last time, didn't they? And I'm not sure if, it seems to me that the producers have a little bit of a word. They get the feelers from someone, who you're going to pick. And maybe, the people who've come out the villa say, oh, yeah, I didn't know until I was stood up there. I'm like, yeah, you do really, though, don't you? So I just wonder, like if Teddy knew he was going to pick Faye, but then the producers have got it all together, they can say, oh, right, well, we'll leave. The dramatic thing would be to leave, two girls up there and the viewers don't know who they're going to pick. But surely the better drama here is to give AJ the first pick and she picks Teddy.
Yes. And I'd said that before we parted when we did the US one. They should have given that Trina the voting dinner because that would have really rocked the boat and everyone would be going, oh my God. I've only seen it once in one of the I think it was the second series. It was Scott and Katie who ended up winning it. They got split up by one of the girls and it was sort of a bit of an arsey one. And then we saw it. We did see it. Was it
Australia season one, wasn't it?
Not Shanice. Who was it was also was it Shannon? Did it
begins with an S? I can't quite remember. I'm sure.
Shauna. I'll get it right. Shauna with Callum, and she split him up, didn't she? Him and Molly.
No, she chose Grant Crapp, didn't she? That's the only name, quite honestly, Chris. I can consistently remember.
I flicked across from the. The
You're
US
talking about the
UK now. Sorry, all these people. Sorry, but yeah, she did the same. So that's the only way. Something like that is what they should do. And I don't think sometimes the producers have got the bottle to do it anymore. It's not. There's not that controversy like it was like exactly what you said. Why? And other people have said we had that. Let's just say, why are these people not grafting when they're not with anybody? Why are they just accepting?
Weird, isn't it?
I think that's a great. It's a great call out for us, Dave, because that's exactly what's going on. People are too worried about losing that friendship. And I'm not saying that isn't right, but it's also one of them things where you're like, well, what do you want to do? It's weird. It's very, very strange.
Yeah. Well, let's see. I'm clinging, Chris, to a bit of drama here. And hopefully that comment from Faye about, she's better than AJ. I'm hoping that comes back to play into the drama a little bit. Now, Chris, we've got a new boy coming into the villa, haven't we? We've got old Danny boy coming in.
Yeah, we have Dave, and he picks Kaz for a date. And I did say he was going to come in as a waiter with two of the girls, Dave. Again, reality radar, absolutely on point.
Of course.
So I think he's going to pick Kaz, and I also think he's going to pick he could pick Lucinda, but I think he's going to pick maybe one of the other, maybe Millie or someone who's coupled up is going to get picked, I think. Again, reality radar, Dave, 100% record. Why would it not be right?
Well, one reason could be the press pack actually says, asks him the question, which girls do you have your eye on? And he says, Lucinda is my type. Nice eyes and tanned. Sharon is nice. I like Kaz's vibe. Kaz is bubbly like me. So I think we'll get on like a house on fire. I think me and Kaz will vibe. So there you go.
Nice.
Now, to me, Chris, he just looks like Phil Foden, and make sure you've got your bike locked up when he's around.
You said that, not me.
He does look like someone who'd nick your bike, doesn't he? Yeah. So let's see. I'm sure he's a lovely lad. Don't forget, Chris, I grew up mostly in St. Helens. This is a lad from Wigan, so I'm not exactly going to be pulling for him.
No, and is he from Wigan?
Yeah.
All right, fair enough, Dave. I'm from Old Trafford. I know exactly what you're talking about, Dave. So there you go. I agree. There's rivalry, but I will say two things. We've got an email as well from one of our newest listeners, Abby. So I want to read that out, which is really good. But for tomorrow's episode, it's Friday in the UK. It's Prosecco o'clock. I can't drink too much, Dave, as you know, because I'm off to the Formula One Grand Prix on the Saturday. But I am going to start drinking a little bit early. And what I'm asking everybody to do, don't go too overboard and please don't drink and drive. But we are doing the Lucinda bingo piss up, okay? So every time she says, really, or are you, we are going to have a drink, people, okay? So by the end of about it starts at 9 o'clock in the UK. By 9:15, you're going to be fucking wasted, Dave. So let's play the Lucinda piss up bingo.
Really?
Are you? So anyway, this is a great email from Abby. It says, "Hi from a new listener. Hi, Chris and Dave. Hope you guys are well. I just wanted to send an email to say hello and share my thoughts on Love Island, as I really enjoy listening to your daily recaps of the show. Like anyone else, I can see that Love Island has now turned into a show where it's not about finding love. It's a competition between the girls for who will get the coveted misguided or PLL deal, and which of the lads will be on Celebs Go Dating or be the face of some JD store in the middle of nowhere but this time next year." And that is so true, Dave, because they see JD Sports stuff around there and it's mostly Love Island. I love Love Island, but this year's is really drilling it home that the show is fake now. In my opinion, I think the only way ITV2 can save this show is to put an age range on the applicants from next series onwards. I think they need to make it where the minimum age of contestants is 25 and the range goes from about 25 to 35. So I'm still within range, Dave. People in this stage of their lives generally are more sure on what they want, but in my opinion, being more generally interested in meeting someone. Liam freely admitted to Faye he's not bothered if he's in a relationship or not in 5 years' time, which we said that as well, didn't we? Mm-hmm. Lucinda is trying to be the next Molly May. People are getting sick of seeing kids talk about rubbish and act as if they're in a show for any other reason than their career. I hope Love Island does this at some point because I feel that's the only way to weed out a lot of the Instagram kids. Let me know what you think. Have a great day, Abby. So, Abby, that is a great email, Dave. I think that summarises pretty much what most of us are thinking at the moment.
Yeah. No, that is awesome. And Chris, we do have a review. Now, this one it's made me chuckle.
It's not calling me out, is it?
No, it's better. It is a double backhanded compliment kind of thing. So, so we both get it. Square in the plums, I think. Right. So this is subject, Chris. Would you like to listen to two middle-aged men talk Love Island? It says, companion to Love Island USA and UK. Forget the others. This is actually funny and entertaining. So there you go.
Oh, that's
Chris.
Brilliant. I thought he was going to say, what the fuck do these two know what about life and young kids? So thank you. That's a great email, Dave. Who was that from, by the way, Dave? That was great.
Oh, sorry. That is from Libshits. And it is SITZ. So like that. So I don't know if that's German or something, but that is from our US store, Chris.
No, thank you for that. It's really, really good. Yeah, brilliant, Dave. Absolutely brilliant. Big thank you to our Patreons, guys. Thank you, as always, for supporting us. Everybody supporting us. We do appreciate it. If you do want to get on the Patreon, it's patreon.com/CD Realitycast. And the roll call of honor for today, and a big thanks to all our Patreons. We've got Libby, Katie, Dee Dee, Hannah, Ed, Priscilla, Susan, Hennessy Green, Haley, Tracy, Lauren, Lucky Lulu Green, and Kent of Starvson. So thank you, guys. Absolute class from all of you guys. Big thanks, as always, to our good friend Charlene, Dave, who is... I'm itching to talk to her about season 2 of Love Island, but I don't want to ruin it. Like I say, keep watching Charlene and keep posting on our Facebook, which is Chris and Dave's TV Reality Cast. And we have had some new members join over on Facebook, Dave, in the last couple of days. So thank you for joining, guys, and get involved in the conversation. Whatever you think, do you agree, disagree with me and Dave? 99% of people agree with me and the rest disagree with Dave, but it's fine. We take everybody in. It's fine. No, they don't. It's about 50-50, I think. But no, some great people over there. So get over there, guys. And Dave, just one more thing. At CD Reality Cast on Twitter. If you want to call me out again for getting completely the wrong information, get on there, because we've got some great friends on there as well. So welcome to them, people on there who've joined our Twitter, Dave. And also email us in cdrealitycast@gmail.com.
Awesome, Chris. Well, thank you very much, sir. We've got one more episode left. It's been a good week. I think plenty of drama this week, but I've got a feeling they're going to finish this week off with a bang. So let's hope so, and I'll speak to you tomorrow.
Bye.
Hey, Brad, looking kind of sad. Hey, Brad, I know it makes you mad. Hey, Brad, acting kind of bad. Hey, Brad, could you ease up a tad? Sitting in class, looking like an ass. throwing spitballs at the pretty girls you know.
Like Britney.
You don't wanna be that guy, making all the pretty girls cry. Deep down you know it's all a lie. Hey Brad, looking kinda sad. Hey Brad, I know it makes you mad. Hey Brad, thinking thoughts of Chad. Hey Brad, ooh, you want him bad. Slamming locker doors, trapping nerds inside. Pushing down the fields you try to hide. You don't wanna be that guy, picking on the little small fry. Deep down you know it's all a lie. Hey Brad, looking kinda sad. Hey Brad, I know it makes you mad. Hey Brad, let's hear from your dad. Hey Brad, his name is also Brad.
Hey Brad, it's me, your Brad Dad, coming at you from inside your brain. I'm here to tell you I'm mad, Brad. I want you to be the bad Brad you always knew you had. Not sad Brad, rad Brad. So go out there and go get Chad.
Hey Brad, looking kinda sad. Hey Brad, I know it makes you mad. Hey Brad, making eyes at Chad. Hey Brad, you're sweating just a tad. Now you're at the dance in size large khaki pants, looking around the room for that special guy you know. You know you wanna be that guy. You know he makes your little heart fly. Deep down you know it's worth a try.
And the prom king is Brad.
And Britney. Hey Brad, looking kinda sad. Hey Brad, we know it makes you mad. Hey Brad, imagine what you'd have had. Hey Brad, we know it makes you sad.